Hello, everyone. Allie Brooks. I'm a therapist and an astrologer for Sweetwater Liberation Lab. Today, I'm going to be doing a reading for the new moon in Aquarius on February 1st, 2022. This new moon will be taking place around midnight. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, so this is Central Time in the United States. So here you see the moon and the sun conjunct at 12 degrees of Aquarius, marking the new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of rebellion, freedom, awakening, change, innovation, the future. Aquarius is the water bearer. So it is represented by the pouring out of the water of the past to create something new in its place. And Aquarius is oriented towards the collective good. So it is the perspective of the collective consciousness, and Aquarius is concerned with what is best for everyone in the collective. It's an air sign that's able to take the big picture and look from a detached perspective without one's own ego or personal greed or desire getting in the way. Aquarius can be objective and detached from one's own emotions in order to see what is best for the collective. So this new moon is conjunct Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, and Saturn represents responsibilities, constriction, boundaries. This new moon is really asking us about the connection between responsibility and freedom. What is our responsibility to the collective? And what are the responsibilities, duties, obligations that we have if we want to create systems that allow for more freedom? And this new moon at 12 degrees of Aquarius is squaring, so making a 90-degree angle, which is a tense conflict angle to Uranus, which is Aquarius's ruling planet in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus has been moving through Taurus since 2018, and Uranus is the planet of awakening, rebellion, breakdown, breakthrough, and it's been moving through Taurus. And so during this period of about 7 years that started in 2018, we are going through these massive changes and awakening and breakdown, breakthrough. Can sometimes feel like destruction. Uranus brings an erratic, unstable energy. It brings surprises. It's meant to shake things up. And Uranus is our connection. It's the connection with innovation. And Uranus represents these kind of lightning bolts of genius and intuition. So whereas Mercury represents our mind and our thoughts, Uranus represents kind of the higher mind, our intuition, our ability to tap into new and genius ways of thinking. And it's moving through the sign of Taurus, which is about earth energy. So I really see this as an opportunity for us to completely rethink our values. Taurus has to do with values. So we are in the midst of this process of completely transforming the way that we see economics. Taurus rules money. So our economic system is going through massive changes, and that is at a tense angle to this new moon. And so it's meant to awaken us to what needs to change in order for us to live in alignment with these Taurus themes of the living earth and abundance. Taurus is an abundance mindset. It's leaning into the inherent abundance of the earth and moving away from scarcity thinking. Taurus asks us to move slower, to slow down, to be in relationship of pleasure to the earth, and to our surroundings, to ground ourselves in the physical world and the physical senses through pleasure. It speaks to, I think, the paradigm shift. Aquarius really represents paradigm shift, and Uranus, Aquarius's ruling planet, is about creating paradigm shift around the themes of the earth. So we are going through this critical time while Uranus travels through Taurus 2018 to about 2025 of make or break opportunity to shift our relationship with the earth, which necessitates a shift in our values, necessitates a shift in how we view resources, money, value, and again, moving out of systems of scarcity and paradigms of scarcity into systems of abundance. And Aquarius, again, is about systems that work for the collective good. And so this is an opportunity for us to continue to tap into community. Aquarius is about community, to build community locally from the ground up with freedom at the center. How can we create systems that lead to the maximum amount of freedom on a collective level? And how can we bring these innovative new ways of thinking and being in community, being in relationship with the earth, into Capricorn? There's 4 planets in Capricorn over here. Capricorn represents manifesting actual physical structures. So Aquarius and Uranus themes are helping us to tap into innovative and new ways of being in community, of being in relationship with the earth. And all of this activity in Capricorn is helping us to actually put these things into physical structures. How do we actually organize ourselves in ways that allow for these new paradigms to thrive, and for us to, we see this trine 120-degree angle between both Venus and Mars, which are, Mars representing action and willpower, and Venus representing creativity and relationship, are in alignment, trining Uranus and Taurus. So again, this is a time of hard work. Capricorn represents hard work and responsibility. Again, more of these Saturn themes. What are our responsibility towards the collective good, and how can we actually put these new ways of thinking into physical structures? And we all have a piece to play in that. How can we all do that? Not asking for our leaders, some leader in a faraway place, to initiate this and do this for us. This is each of us from the ground up, participating in the ways that we can. And Jupiter is in Pisces, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's where we're growing as a collective, and it's in Pisces, which represents unity consciousness and compassion. And so Jupiter has us really allowing ourselves to imagine new ways of being and organizing ourselves that really include everyone. Pisces asks nobody to be left behind, no matter their choices, their political beliefs, and even the harm that they've caused. So, Saturn, again, is a big player in this moment, and it's about boundaries and responsibility. And so how can we both make space for the boundaries that we need to have, the limitations that we need to have? How do we create conditions and structures where people are asked to take responsibility, to be responsible for themselves and be responsible to their relationships, but also be able to tap into compassion and forgiveness. And Pisces is this unconditional compassion. And so bringing together both of these themes of how can we have boundaries around harm, and how can we take responsibility for the ways that we cause harm, and also to have deep compassion for ourselves, for all parts of ourselves, and have compassion for even those amongst us who cause harm, and understand and to practice ways of bringing those things together. We also have Pluto at 26 degrees Capricorn conjunct Mercury at 24 degrees Capricorn. So Mercury is thoughts, communication, and in conjunction with Pluto, which is intensity, the underworlds, destruction, transformation. So Pluto has been highlighting what is being destroyed in our world right now, the breakdown, the complete death and rebirth process that we are going through around some of the structures and systems that our society is built on. And so with Mercury conjunct this, it's also an opportunity for us to do some deep shadow work, to be able to explore how we have internalized some of the shadow Capricorn themes. So on the light side, Capricorn is the ability to take responsibility, to be practical, to work hard towards success, towards earthly success, towards making things happen. Capricorn is kind of the provider, if you take the metaphor of a farm, a farm operation or an agricultural operation, Capricorn is considering where the rubber hits the road, the bottom line, who is making sure that everything is done. So Mercury conjuncting Pluto, Mercury is also retrograde at this time. And so I really see this as an opportunity to do some shadow work around what are things that we can take responsibility for, maybe past harms, past ways that we have contributed to harm, to be able to take, and if you are ready for it, communicate responsibility. It's an opportunity to process internally and also relationally lessons learned from past mistakes around these themes of responsibility, accountability, maturity. And Capricorn asks us to take ownership of what is ours, ownership and responsibility of what is ours on the most practical of levels. And I think that there's going to be growing awareness of, I think of, for example, like our food system and our agricultural system, and how scarcity of food makes us more aware of these kind of Capricorn themes of where our ideas and our ideals and our dreams come into practical reality, that at the end of the day, there are things that need to be done to maintain the structures of our society, to make sure that we have enough food to eat, to make sure that our systems are running smooth enough that people aren't going to die of starvation, or be left in the cold, or not have access to the healthcare that they need in the community that they need. These are things that will continue to be coming into our awareness with the changes that Uranus is bringing about, whether that be natural disasters, or changes in the economic system and the stock market. And so now is the time to plant these seeds, literally, of new earth. And these aren't just, this isn't just in the realm of ideas. This is in the realm of actually all of this earth energy here, Capricorn and Taurus, taking these dreams, this, compassion, taking these ideals of freedom and actually putting it into physical structures, being practical, being pragmatic, being thinking about the long term. Capricorn is thinking 12 years down the road, 7 generations, taking that long view. And look at all of these planets here in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. These are the last 3 signs of the zodiac, and they deal with the most outer, most transpersonal, right? The beginning of the zodiac is Aries. That's represents the personal ego, what I want, what I desire. And by the end, we're talking about broad ideals. Pisces represents the dream realm, the collective unconscious. Aquarius represents the collective conscious and ideals. And Capricorn represents structures. And so Capricorn, it's like the mountain, right? We're at the top of the mountain. We're seeing from the big perspective right now. What do we need to do now to maintain the systems that we need in place for freedom, for a sense of unity, for us to put into place our visions of a new world, a world of abundance, of compassion, of freedom. And so whatever kind of shocking events or news or instability, breakdown, shakeups in our life right now are meant to bring our awareness, bring our consciousness to a higher level, to take this kind of perspective, this bird's eye view, and to reprioritize, rethink our values, and to make long-term plans towards bringing this new earth into reality in our own lives from the ground up. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time, which will be for the full moon in Leo in February. To follow this and other offerings, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Sweetwater Liberation Lab.